Hi again then guys, and so we've got another Special Projects replica build for you today, and this time it's a replica of a vehicle which did actually used to be on Gran Turismo, back on Gran Turismo 2. Back then we had a really strong selection of RUF vehicles. In fact, I believe Gran Turismo 2 actually had one of the strongest selections of RUF models of any racing game ever. Unfortunately though, a lot of those were culled back on the more recent games, and one of the particular models that was unfortunately lost was the next level up version of the existing CTR2, which is of course the fastest RUF which we currently have in the game, and the model is the CTR2 Sport. It has slightly updated mechanicals, performance, etc., in a similar way to the RT12R, RT12S, etc., and various other RUFs that they've made over the years. So, as far as the visuals, basically just paint it whatever colour you want. I've opted to go for the stock rims because they're the most appropriate to this vehicle, so there's really no need to go to the visual tuning garage for this build. So, we'll go straight over to the mechanical garage for the setup, and then of course take it out to a track to see how it performs. Now, for this particular build, there were, well, one thing in particular that I wasn't able to find, and that was the official gear ratios of this car. Now, as with some of my other builds, it may well be possible to do so, but I've opted to leave the gearbox the same as the normal CTR2. But if you do know what those gears are, feel free to put those in the comments for the benefit of others, but as I said, I wasn't able to find those. Now, I've gone for sport soft tyres, because this is of course more of a street-based tune. For the brakes, we've left those stock for the same reason. As far as suspension, we've evened out the ride height a little bit to stop it from being as nose pointing to the stars. So we've got the rear on 115, the front on 105, the springs on 450 and 775, the dampers to 4, anti-roll we've left on 3, we've got neutral camber and tow, the stock gearbox as I already mentioned. As far as the clutch, flywheel, prop shaft, well, you can't adjust the prop shaft anyway, and the centre diff, we've left those stock. And as far as the diff, you've got a few options. I've gone for the lowest acceleration and braking, lowest torque on the back with 10 on the front. And basically what that does is it makes the handling quite smooth and restrained. It's not a rabid car at all. And with the initial torque on 10, what that does is it really causes the car to tighten up the steering when you give it some throttle. So the car will instantly start to have understeer and pull to the straight line. So it's the kind of car that I'd recommend coasting through most corners with, and then really give it the beans when you're in the clear. But of course you could adjust that to your personal preference. As far as power, the actual CTR2 Sport has 590 horsepower, so we do have an oil change. Now, you don't have to do what I've done. I've done this to get it rounded off PP wise, but you can have it at a lower PP without necessarily needing these upgrades. But I've gone for the Stage 3 engine tune and the high RPM turbo, and then reduce the power accordingly, which also allows you to have significantly more torque as well at the same power level. For the weight reduction, to get the car the same weight as it is in real life, you want Stage 2 weight loss and then a 95 kilo ballast, which we've put 2% towards the front just to improve the weight distribution a little bit and to bring us up to the actual weight of the real car, which is 1350 kilos. So that's overall for the setup. Not a huge difference between this and the normal CTR2, but a significant one nonetheless. So now let's take it out to a track to see how it performs. Now overall, this isn't anywhere near really any of my most extreme replicas. It's not designed to be. It is at the end of the day a street car, which just represents a little bit of an increase in performance, power, a little bit of a decrease in weight over the regular CTR2, which is of course already a seriously fast car. So if you do decide to use this build for your CTR2 to replicate about as close as we can the sport version from Gran Turismo 2, then obviously I hope you find it fun and potentially even competitive in racing. And if you'd like to keep up with other builds like this in the future, be sure to hit subscribe down below for that. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.